and welcome to the West Coast Madden Podcast. I'm Shanegotyou11. With me, as always, is Trey.
Hey guys, how's it going? Appreciate you guys for checking out the West Coast Madden Podcast. Today is the May 28th edition of the West Coast Madden Podcast. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by. So Madden season, for the most part, for Madden 20 has been closed. However, there is going to be some golden tickets, so let me know in the comment section and let me know in the chat what golden ticket are you going to choose for your free one that comes out tomorrow. Because me personally, I'm picking Bo Jackson. I think Bo Jackson's going to be the one for me, but let me know who you got. Kicking off this podcast, so the news is that there's going to be a trailer for Madden 21 coming out June 1st. So we have Flight Reacts in June, and we also have the Madden 21 trailer coming out pretty soon. So I don't really know what to expect. It's probably not going to be that in depth. It's probably going to be like a 30-second trailer of some sorts, but Shane, how have you been doing this week, and what do you think about the whole thing?
I've been doing good, man. I've been doing good. I'm getting ready. I'm ready for Madden 21. I'm ready for the grind and to do all that stuff again. What's really, really cool, though, about June 1st, in my opinion, is I think they're going to release a date. That's what I personally think. I think they're going to release a date, and I have a feeling that they're going to be on schedule more than they thought at first after the COVID happened. Like, before, I heard it was supposed to be like around July 24th, and then with the COVID, they got delayed until early August. And now I think with America starting to open back up slightly, I think they're pushing for it. I think on June 1st we will hear a date. Do you have a guess of a date? I will say late July.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say August 3rd is gonna be my guess.
Okay, wait. Are we saying the official copy, or where people can buy it and play it 2 days early?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think that the game officially is gonna come out like around early August, but if you like get the pre-order version, then you'll get it a couple days earlier than that.
Okay, so you'll say August 3rd is when the first people can play it.
Yes.
Hold on. I gotta check real quick because I'm gonna make a guess, just for fun, just to have a little bit. I think so. Today's May 28th. You know what? I will say July 31st.
July 31st.
Because that's a Friday, and I think that will be the pre-order edition.
All right, awesome. So do you think that they're going to be doing a beta this year like they do usually, or
if they come out June 1st and release a date, which I think they will, yes, I do think there will be a beta. If they come out and there's no date and they're like, oh, well, in a couple weeks we'll let you know when the game's going to be officially released, I think it might be having a hard time being a beta. But I believe there will be a beta just overall because they want to know what people think and want. All I'm letting people know is, like I've told you, Trey, is it's going to be more of a passing game in Madden 21.
Yeah, one of the more interesting times over the last couple of years is whenever they come out with the beta, and there's a select few that get it like yourself, but I mean there's like a whole list of people on Twitter that are just like, oh, please give me a code, and I'll do anything for a code, and it's pretty hilarious. It's like It's like people that are in the streams just going drop, drop, drop.
Well, you know what though, in my opinion, and I know they want to keep it to the top, Madden players, what they consider the top Madden players. They want their
Right, right.
opinion. But my opinion is if like a person who spends like a bunch of money on packs and they're not good enough to be, the 1%, but they play it enough, or a person who plays head-to-head regs and plays it enough, I think they should have an opinion.
I think it, like me personally, I think it should be like an open beta. Because that's how it works with most games. So I don't understand why Madden's so different. I mean, just make it like open for everybody. But
Yeah, I don't know if they think that people like maybe aren't educated or they really just don't care. You know what I mean? They like, oh
right,
well, like, I want the top like 400 players in the world to talk about it to help us. And that's how but see, that's how I feel about like, you think they're gonna listen to me over Kiv? No.
nope,
But will they listen to me over somebody who doesn't make tournaments? Yeah, probably.
yeah,
And I mean they should, but they just won't. Since we are talking about Madden 21, EA and NFL just broke the news, I think a couple hours ago, that NFL and EA have made an agreement to last through 2025 to 2026, depending on the revenue. So Madden is going to be the winner again, is what I'm trying to say. Madden will be the NFL game through 2025, 2026.
yeah, yeah. So nothing new there. I am excited because like for me, I'm someone that's played a lot of football video games growing up from, NCAA, NFL Street, all those types of football games. And I kind of feel bad for, kids that are just now, growing up that never got to experience like other football games because Madden's really the only one. I mean, there's no other like major studio that can compete with Madden. But
Oh yeah.
I was I was kind of hoping that like, the XFL, went out of business and it's doubtful that, they're going to return. But I was hopeful that maybe they would make a video game, but 2K is going to make a football game, which it's not going to be like 11 versus 11. It's probably going to be like 3 versus 3.
Yeah,
But
it's going to
but
be
it's gonna
arcade.
yeah, it's going to be an arcade game, but it's going to be I think it'll give like EA some sort of competition, so that's always good. But so I guess we're locked in, but I mean, EA has gotten a lot of backlash over the last. I mean, I mean, shoot, they've been getting backlash for forever, but I mean, at the end of the day, they make money. I mean, there's no question that they're a $1 billion company. So
Well, yeah, that's why they don't care what the mass public say. They only care about
yeah,
what the top pros are really saying. I mean, that's unfortunate, but in the end, they're gonna just look at us and be like, "Look, we're making billions of dollars. We're not doing it wrong."
yeah,
I think the mass public, honestly, Trey, would enjoy it if the game was more simulation.
right. What do you mean by like when you say like more simulation? I'm curious. Like,
Like, I think.
be,
Go ahead.
yeah. Well, I was just gonna say because I feel like different people have like different definitions of what simulation is. So what is simulation in your perspective?
Well, my perspective is you pick different plays.
Right, right.
You punt on fourth downs unless it's second half or late in the game, or you're on their side of the field. Uh, and you just don't spam one play over and over or one formation over and over. That's simulation to me. And like people are like, well, people go for it on fourth downs a lot. Well, In the NFL, I mean. Well, the NFL average is
Yeah.
43% completion. Or conversion rate, excuse me. 43%. But on Madden, it'd be like 75 or 80%.
Right.
I just seen a lot of people complain that they'd like it if you had to pick different plays. You had to punt. You had to kick field goals. Now, I don't go to that extreme, like you have to kick a field goal if you're the 5 yard line on fourth down. But I do agree, like, it is a little bit boring just to watch somebody run like 3-4 bear this year, let's just say,
Right.
and then go against stretch and dive. I mean, I can see why for the outside world, that's not the 1% of the 1%, they get bored by the game, and people can be like, oh, well. But in the end, if you did it a little bit more simulation, like, maybe the computer AI, if you drafted a high computer or a player with high, AI, they get used to the same play call being spammed and they do better against it. Maybe something like that would work out. I'm just not sure entirely how to fix it.
Yeah, and I mean, from my perspective, I feel like there should be a difference between like a competitive setting and a simulation setting. So, like for example, would it be like say that you were playing in a tournament and they brought injuries and your running back just gets injured, like things like that would be terrible for a competitive setting.
I
So
fully agree. I didn't see people say that,
yeah,
which, I mean, you make
well,
a good
you
point.
know, yeah. What I was actually going to bring because I heard actually that I think it was one of the developers actually, but they tweeted out and they said that they were like they had an idea of making it to where if you were to run the ball and you kept your starting running back in and you just kept force feeding him the ball without giving him a breather, then he would get injured. So so things like that, I feel like it would be good because it's something that you can control. Now, obviously, I mean there's probably going to be some sort of glitch or something wrong with it, but what I'm saying
I
is,
like that.
yeah, yeah, I know, me too. I kind of like that idea
It's like
actually
if you run
because
like a guy like 30, 40 times, he's going to get hurt or he's going to get tired
yeah,
and be crappy. If you feed him like 15, 20 times or even 12 to 20 times, okay. But like here's another thing that I think needs to be fixed. And this is for the passers out there like Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson. You run around backwards, right, for like 30 seconds and then throw it up. And then they're not that tired. They would be tired for the next 2, 3 plays.
yeah,
But they don't do that. Just like I think that if they're gonna, like here, for example, I have a CFM league, and my starting running back got hurt. First play of the game, he was out the whole game. Luckily, he didn't
right,
get hurt for the whole year. That would be tough to stomach. You know what I mean? I mean that would be
yeah,
a little bit poor. But like if you're running him so much, well, that's your risk. But I mean, they're trying to make. I think they're trying to just make it more simulated a little bit more because if you make it a little bit more simulated, Trey, all that does is help them in the long haul. More people will want to play.
yeah. Yeah, more people are gonna want to play for sure, but I think basically what I'm trying to get at is that you wouldn't want to see like if it was a competitive game, you wouldn't want to see just random penalties come up like unless you have your coaching adjustments and you know what I mean, you had your blocking on aggressive and you get caught for holding, then that's something that you can control, but just like random penalties for no reason, triggering like that in a competitive setting. I know it's simulation; it happens on Sunday, but in a competitive setting, that's not good. So,
I agree
and
90% on that. Like,
Yeah.
the 10% for me is like when I pass sometimes, they will use. Sometimes my guys will get knocked down or knocked backwards by their guy
Oh
running
yeah.
into me. Like,
Yeah.
and stopping, like, I'll do a crossing route, let's just say, and my computer guy will burn the computer. Well, their user will run into one of my guys, and they'll run into each other, and then I throw it, and it goes incomplete. It should be pass interference because that's blatant.
Yeah.
Now the rest, I
Or if
agree with you.
yeah, or if you're running a crossing route and then your guy just kind of bumps him and then it like throws him off his route.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you
But the
mean.
rest I agree with you on because, like, if like there was actually, bro, there was one game this year that I got flagged like 7 times in competitive, and I didn't have it on
Yeah.
aggressive at all. I got called for like 2 offensive holdings, a defensive pass interference, and then an offensive pass interference, and I can't remember what the other couple were. But it was literally high, and I was like, dude, that is such bullcrap because I can't control my offensive line holding when it's
Yeah.
unbalanced.
Yeah. And that's 100% what I'm getting at is because when it's like user like when I go into a game, I when I go into a game I don't want to play the computer. Like when I go into a game and I want to compete, I want to play the guy that's behind the other controller. Like I don't want to play the CPU.
Well, did you
So
see, bro? Did you see where there's people having a discussion? It was a couple days ago on Twitter. They were saying that, like, just what I said, that a couple pros didn't like it, but they were talking about, like, how are these top pros clicking off on defense? It
yeah.
makes the game look bad. And there's a whole discussion. I don't remember who started it. It was one of like the semi big guys, and they were having a discussion. And I was like, it's true though. Me and you've had that discussion before. Like, can you imagine in like Call of Duty and you give it to the computer to snipe them?
Yeah, well that's another thing too because in the Madden Bowl I believe it was it was Drini versus Mills and what happened was I don't know if you've seen this or heard about this but Drini's controller went dead for like 2 minutes. So so when his controller went dead, his defender still pursued after the ball carrier. But in any other game, if your controller dies, like what happens? Like like it would like nothing would happen. You'd just be frozen.
Yeah, the NBA. Well, the NBA defender would just stand there.
Yeah,
The Call of Duty
and then
player would get shot.
yeah, and then Mills noticed that that his batteries was dead, so he just like went hurry up, and is like and the computer like stopped him for like 3 yards.
Yeah,
So
and you know
yeah,
that's unfortunate because that would suck. I'd be pissed if I was Dreeny. My whole opinion is if you're in competitive, not if you're playing for fun or you're playing online, but I'm talking about if
yeah,
you're in the competitive mode, right? You are in the grind for salary cap. I think people that click off, their guy should just fall to the ground.
yeah,
I'm just saying
yeah.
it. Don't you? I'm asking you personally, Trey. Wouldn't you rather have a game? And since it's Madden and everybody loves Madden, this is why we're here. Wouldn't you rather watch pros user a bunch instead of run around and click off and let the computer do it? Or are
Yeah,
you okay with
I'd
it?
rather, yeah, I would rather like let them, you know, click on and especially like if they have like enforcer and that sort of thing, and because it's like, yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be all about user, so, and I feel like they should make it more user based, and I feel like I feel like Madden has to be like one of the least like user based games. Like in terms of like esports and stuff, it has to be like the bottom
Bro,
because
thank you.
because the CPU does pretty much everything. when you think about it.
Yeah, and you know, I don't have a problem with it. Like if like the guy's running towards me trying to tackle me, and I go the other way, and his computer tackles me, I don't care. That's a game. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about like I run through the gap. It's me and him, and he clicks off because he's scared, and does it
Yeah.
all the time. Like to me, it defeats the purpose. Like if I'm watching. If I'm 14 or 15, right, and I'm like, do I want to get into Fortnite, Madden, or NBA? And I love my user, and Madden's the only one that like the pros really click off because they don't have a user. I just think it makes it look bad. Like for me, honestly, I'm gonna be like egotistical, and I'm gonna be brutally honest. I think my user's probably one of the best in all of Madden. I will take my user against anyone, bro. And that sounds egotistical, but guess what? That matters to Madden as a whole. It means jack crap because
Right.
I didn't make a live again yet. But I literally lose to people that have no user. I actually get off, as weird as that sounds. Not technically, but I actually get
Yeah.
excited
Yeah.
when I lose to a guy that has a good user. I respect him more.
Right. And and you know something else is that I feel like the top players now, I feel like the elite of the elite, I'm talking like Skimbo, you know, Young Kib, you know, those guys like that. I feel like the reason that they are successful is not because, you know, you know, they abuse the same plays, they just run the same plays. I do think that if you win a belt or like you had some far succeed in Madden, I think you have to have some sort of knowledge about football concepts and you know how zones work and that sort of thing. And I honestly think that you know guys like Skimbo, I think they kind of want real football too. But so it's like that they understand football, but they're also good at the game. But some people like these younger kids, they don't really know football, but they're just good at the game. So
Yeah, I mean, I think some of them do, but like I thought I heard a joke doesn't even watch football.
yeah, no, that's a bad example. But I'm talking like you know
I know what
guys
you
that
I know
won
what you
like
mean in general.
multiple. Yeah, in
There's few
general.
there's some pros out there that know zone concepts, man concept, all that stuff, and then they have a decent user or a good user. Like I'm cool with that. I just don't care to watch. I guess the live event and watch them click off. Because to me that'd be like watching an NBA 2K player click off when they're at the free throw line or the 3 pointer. That's boring. I want to see the top pro either succeed or fail. I'd rather watch a pro try to tackle a guy and the guy spins off him or breaks free and scores than a click off. I'd rather see him fail trying than not try at all.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So I mean, the future of Madden, I guess coming it all back is hopefully it's gonna get better. You know, I think that it's gonna get better. I think that it makes it to where because like this time they got so much backlash. I feel like you know I feel like they're gonna put in a lot of work in this game.
I'm hoping so. I
So
heard the zones, like I said last podcast, the zones are supposed to be a little bit better. The X factors or whatever are supposed to be a little dumbed down. They still will be there, obviously, but I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping.
yeah. All right. So moving on to another topic. Um, so since Madden 21's coming over, there is, you know, I kind of want to, you know, say a few awards for the MCS. You know, I think that the MVP for the MCS, I think it has to be Joke. I mean, not because he won Madden Bowl, but I mean, he's made like the final four of the club, and I think he's pretty much been to every live event, even in the classic. He made it all the way far, so I don't feel like there's any debating that. Would you agree with?
Yeah, I agree with Joke.
All right, cool. And then for rookie of the year, I mean, I think Henry. I know we were talking about this before, and we were talking Noah, but I think Henry. I mean, he made all the events. Made draft champions. Came in the final four and Madden Bowl. So
I would normally agree, but I mean Noah got a chip. And a chip to me matters.
yeah, that's
Like I'd
true.
rather look.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I'd rather win a championship, be it Mutt Draft or clubs, and then suck at Mutt Draft, and then make the Madden Bowl and get like top 8, then go top 8, top 8, top 8, or top 4, top 4, top 4. Because I have a belt. I'm holding that belt up, so I'm going with Noah.
yeah. So like for one other one, we'll say what was the best play? I mean, would you say that Volterax run
Yes,
was? Yeah,
yes, that
Volterax.
was really
Yeah,
sick. That was really good.
yeah,
That was
yeah. I'll
that
agree.
was by far hands down the best play that was at least live. You know what I mean? I'm sure people had really good plays that you don't get to watch, but yes, for competitive players, yes.
Wouldn't that be cool? Like if wouldn't that be awesome if you just got a 1 year supply of Snickers though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely. I mean, I don't eat a lot of candy, but I know people who do. So yeah, that'd be nice to hand out and
Yeah.
have once in a while because Snickers are pretty good.
Right. Yeah. Definitely not my favorite candy, but they're up there for
Are you
sure.
listening, Mike and Ike and Butterfinger?
You still remember that? You still?
No, wait, what? What? Remember what?
Oh. Oh. Well, for some reason I remember. I think I asked you what your favorite candy was, and you said Mike and Ike's, and then I was like, oh, mine's Butterfinger,
Oh
and then you were
snap!
like,
No, no, no. Actually, you know what? It was back in the day, right?
yeah, it was like a while ago.
Wasn't it around the Halloween podcast?
Yeah,
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 now I do. Now I do. Now I do. Once you said that, but no, really, man, I love Butterfinger too. So me and you are in the group
yeah.
together, bro. But Mike and Ike, I like because I like the fruity candies.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I guess one more would be what was the best game of the year?
I liked Henry and Mo at the Classic.
Yeah, Henry and Mo's a good one. I kind of liked Clef versus Henry when Henry kind of choked near the end.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
thought that
yeah.
was a
That
good
was
one.
yeah, he choked at the end. But yeah, that was a good one too. They had, honestly, there's a lot of good games this year.
Yeah, there was for sure a lot of good games. I think the events like overall were pretty good. I felt like all the announcers were pretty good. I think that Sirius Mo's pretty good at announcing. So,
I know.
so I feel like
I wish I could make a live so I could broadcast.
yeah, that would be awesome for sure. So, so I feel like that was the MCS part of it, but I feel like something else that could be kind of fun is going back and looking at some of the players, like actual like in-game players that you remember that you liked playing with from back in the day. I would say for me, I think that when I first started, I would play a lot of online head-to-head, and Harrison Smith was a goon. Like I think he was like before Enforcer was really like that OP, but it was in regular teams. Like Harrison Smith, like anytime he would tackle you, it would just like kill you. Like it
Yeah,
was
you,
crazy.
you know Madden 11, bro. Darren McFadden. That's who I'd spam
But
head to head with
yeah,
because I liked how they played, and I actually was really really good on that game, but I knew nothing about, or I didn't know anything. My mom is in my head telling me to be correct with speaking. But anyways, um, Yeah, that I like Darren McFadden back. Do you remember Madden 11 at all?
Yeah, I mean the first Madden that I played was '09, and I played like up until like Madden 11. Like the only thing that I remember from playing Madden from back in the day was that like if your opponent, like if you were playing someone online and like your opponent quit the game, you had to play the computer like for the rest of the game. So
Oh yeah, that would suck.
but I'm actually pretty interested in that. Like if someone, because that's something that I'm actually kind of interested is how it works, because I think you were able to play online even back in like '04. So I'm kind of curious to know like what it was like from like back then, like when
Yeah,
you played
I have
online.
no idea, bro. Because like I said, man, like I used to play video games at home growing up, and then I'd play some video games, and I was always better than most people, like around like my friends and family. But I didn't take it like anything, so I would have no idea until like Madden 13. That's when it was like, oh, okay, I got that first taste, and then next 2 years I couldn't do it because of work, and then Madden 16 on. But yeah. Oh, hey, since we're on this topic, the poll winner was, "What's your favorite Madden memory?" Trey, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go? I mean, everybody's heard my story, so
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll go first. So I think that for me it might sound a little nerdish, but Madden 17 was like the first like ultimate team that like I would play, and I didn't really know a whole lot about anything back then, because I had like from that point I hadn't really even played Madden. I didn't really play Madden in high school or anything. So I had just like came back from it, and I was like opening up packs, and I pulled it was like a limited time Herman Moore, and out of like a pro pack. So I didn't even spend money on the pack, so I just like bought it with coins. And he went for like around that time he went for like 1.5 mil.
dang.
So I would say that was probably the best moment, because I honestly feel like if it wasn't for that, then there's a possibility that I might have not even been able to get into Madden, and who knows like if I would have even got into it to begin with. So
Yeah, but that's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't. It's fun. I didn't know anything about this stuff, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
yeah.
My favorite memory, you guys have heard multiple times, is Madden 13, making the biggest tournament, going to Vegas. It's my only live event that I've made. It was just like MCS nowadays, basically. First place was 140K. I won. I remember that it was like, I believe 17-14 me online. I might be off. I, but it was like 17-14 me, but the guy drove, and he was at like my 20 with like a minute left, and I hit sticked him, and he fumbled, and I picked it up, and that's when I was going to Vegas. And man, I
Yeah.
had a blast. Even though I got eliminated in the first round, I had a blast. Like the memories of being with like my parents, my brother, my in-law, my sister-in-law, my wife. 5 days in Vegas, 5 nights. You can't replace that. But that is my memory.
Yeah. Yeah, Vegas is pretty cool. I've been there, I think one time when I was like 17, so it was like I couldn't really do a whole lot. But did you go to Fremont Street when you were there? I think that was
Yes,
like
the
the
old
fun.
school.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was like the funnest part for me. Like that was pretty cool, and just like seeing like all the people there
Yeah, I went to
was
the top.
fun.
I went to the top clubs because my brother knew a guy in Vegas that could get us in. He was like a representative, but he was like a friend of my brother's. So we went into like Tao or however you say it. All these top clubs, bro. Like literally, we would walk all day and sightsee, go out and club and party all night, come home at 5 a.m., sleep like 3-4 hours, rinse and repeat. Fremont was really really cool. I like the old school vibe.
Yeah, it was pretty cool for sure.
Uh,
Um,
Go ahead.
so so where was like so it was in Vegas, but where did they have like the venue at over there?
Damn, I
Like,
can't
do you
remember,
remember?
bro.
uh,
I can't remember. It was like in a little. I think it was a little arena, from what my brain says. But like, man, Vegas just melted together. All I remember is you had to show up at 8 a.m. and do check-in. You had free energy drinks. They were like orange. I think they were like fuel. I don't remember what kind. I got a
right.
sick player ID thing that I still have to this day. I'll have to actually I should take a picture and put it up on the wall. But that was
Yeah,
sick.
that'd be pretty
Real
cool.
quick, Trey.
Yeah.
Nicholas said that his favorite Madden memory he wanted me to tell you is the one he posted up in Discord, where his running back fumbled the ball in MUT draft and Michael Thomas picked up and rolled, and I still scored the touchdown. So he wanted me to tell you that.
Shout out to Nicholas again for being in the stream
He's
like always.
always in
Yeah,
it, bro.
yeah,
Nicholas is putting in work.
yeah. So and when you were in that tournament, you used the 49ers, right? Because
Nope.
because
Seahawks.
oh you
I
used the
should have,
Seahawks.
bro. I it was here. I'll say this. It was A, not my ego at all. It was B. It was basically it was nothing to me, bro. It was for fun. And everybody in my family is a Seahawks fan. And so I used the Seahawks versus the 49ers. And there was a couple plays in the game now, because I can still kind of picture some of the plays, where I hit sticked him, and if I would have been hit sticking him with the 49ers, because I used the 49ers to make the live event, Patrick
Right.
Willis would have made him fumble coming across the middle. But instead, he would just fall down. So I should have used him like nowadays. If I was at the Classic, I would have used the Niners. But I
Yeah.
use the Seahawks, man.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny how that works though, because like for most people, like you start out as a football fan, and especially for like a Seahawks fan, it's like hell no, I'm not gonna play with the Niners. But I mean, like when you start getting into like being competitive, it's like I'll use the Niners, don't matter.
Yeah, I'll use whoever now, bro. Like
Yeah.
that, those days are past me. But I mean, like I said, it didn't mean anything to me because I had a job that I did
Yeah.
mainly. Like, I mean, really, Madden 13 was there was no pressure, and which I want to go back to for like Madden 21, just not have pressure. You know what I mean? Be like, whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
do what I do. I mean, I don't think it affects me as much as I think because I mean, I'm pretty calm and cool for the most part, but Madden 13, bro, there's no pressure. Like if I lost, oh well.
Yeah.
Now I wanna make another live event. You know what? I'm gonna look up that little player sign in and take a picture and post it up on the community board.
So did you play on the same monitors as your opponent?
Yeah, bro. Oh. I don't know if I ever shared this part, but so we're on the same monitor, right?
Yeah.
And the rules were everybody and your friends and family could huddle around and watch. So
Right.
he had his friends, I had my friends and family. The rules were your friends and family can't say anything.
So they couldn't talk or nothing.
They couldn't say anything like if they saw somebody open.
They
And,
couldn't say that. Yeah, yeah. So they couldn't say like press square or something like
correct,
that.
correct.
Yeah.
So my brother is like, it was early in the game and I was losing, and my brother's like, you should run this play, but I know you know more than me. And the guy that I was playing was like, no talking. Well, get this, bro. So we're
Yeah.
late in the game, right?
Yeah.
And he was down, I think, a field goal. His friend told him to hit O when he was running around, and he hit O and threw it for like 25 yards and got the first down. And I just took it on the chin, like I didn't complain or anything. I just
Yeah.
said, "Hey, can you not do that again?" And he ended up scoring the touchdown. And then I went all the way down and got to the 1 yard line and threw the ball incomplete, and that's how it ended. And technically, if I was him, I would have thrown a fit. You know what I mean? And he would not
Yeah.
have had that touchdown because it was like third down then.
Right. That's yeah. Was like when he was he a cool guy though? Like he played like was he like talking trash or was he just like
He
just
was
kind of
cool. He just was like, "We're gonna
yeah
lose anyway, so who cares?"
yeah
Um, but the thing is, sorry. The thing is, I played him, bro, when I got back,
yeah
and it was like I think it was just on online tournament, and I smashed him. That's all I remember is my head because
yeah
I knew how to play a little bit more, and I smashed him, and it sucks because now, like I said this before, but nowadays I'd been like top four back then. If I had me right now and go back to 2013, I would have been top four.
yeah because like back then like there was like Problem was like the only one that was like playing back then so
Yeah, it was him and a couple others, I guess. But all I knew was Problem because everybody was afraid of Problem back then. Because I didn't know anything back then, and when I showed up, people were like, "There's Problem." Oh man, Problem's gonna win. So that's why I knew
so
about Problem.
yeah and you said that you actually saw him there
Yeah.
right
Yep.
yeah in person in
Yeah, I saw him. I mean, like, I didn't. It's whatever to me. Like, but yeah, I saw him there. But yeah, people were already afraid of him.
yeah I mean for right reasons I mean they were having that debate a while back about like what like was it harder to be good in this era versus the era back then so
Way
and
harder now.
like yeah and we've talked about this before but I mean like right now like you have like a lot more people trying to compete than like back in the day so
Oh yeah, like if let's just say this right now was back then, right? And we are doing
yeah
MCS and everything was the same, like we can watch it on TV, it's on ESPN,
yeah
but just the players from back in the day with with me included. Problem would probably win a lot of championships.
right yeah
Um, I would be at the live event, probably the top 4 to 8 religiously. But it's easier. It's a big fish in a small pond. Now, unfortunately, like bro, I run into people that are very very good. Like I think this year they said they broke the record for most competitive players with 7,600 or 7,700. It was an all-time record.
yeah yeah it was crazy it's crazy for sure I mean you can only imagine that things are going to get bigger um and people like like I was watching W's podcast here and there but I mean he was saying about how he doesn't like club series because he feels like they pay too much money and that they should pay the top players more money
I
but
I agree with him on a certain thing. I think Mutt Draft and LCQ should get more money than Club. Because with Club,
yeah
bro, it really is whoever's club you're in that's soft. That's why all the pro players talk to each other and find out where they're playing, and then they spread out. And yeah, a couple times they'll be in the same club, whoop de whoop, but they still talk to each other. You know what I mean?
yeah
They make sure there's not 3 pros in one club because the top 2 still go from each console. So that's why even if they have 2 in the same clubs, they're probably going to make it. Like, nobody can tell me anything. If I would have been in the Baltimore club when JS the Best was in there, yep, Baltimore club.
Yeah.
Madden 19, I would have made a live event. And I'm using Baltimore. The only reason I'm using Baltimore is because I remember after Madden 19 clubs ended and I lost to Kiv to go to the live, I realized everybody
Yeah.
in Baltimore I owned that year. Or that
Yeah.
at the start of the clubs. Maybe at the end of the year he got me a few times, but during the first few months I was running through them, bro. So to me, like if you make a live at clubs, congrats, awesome work, high five. But it's not the best or the toughest to make. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people, like me personally, like if I signed up for the Patriots Club and I got paid, $1,500 and a free trip to the stadium, like I'd be cool with that. Like even if I got popped the first game, it's like at least I made a live. I could say that I made a live event.
Right, and that's how I mean that's even how Vegas was for me. I got beat. I
Yeah,
lost on the 1 yard line. It really sucked, man. I
yeah.
got to the 1 yard line, bro, and I threw it and it went over the guy's head. But
So it was
it was
like
awesome. What's that?
so it was like Super Bowl 49, but without the
Without the
interception.
pick, yes.
Yeah,
It was. I mean, it was kind of dumb. It was like Russell Wilson couldn't throw a pocket pass then or something. I don't know. It just like sailed over my guy's head into like the end zone, or out of the end zone. I didn't even hit high pass. I don't even know if high pass was allowed back then or was there. But no. But I mean, like here for example, that Vegas tournament, right? It was the
yeah,
biggest one, Virgin Gaming. I only think there was 528 that tried to make it, and 256 made it.
yeah. And you were one of the ones that made it.
Yeah, and to me, it's like if they said, "Hey Shane," right? Like even right now, you have to
Yeah,
be top 256 to make a live event.
you would make it every time.
Oh, with ease, I'd be one of the top
Yeah,
bracket people. I mean, I was top 40 all year this year, and it didn't mean crap. But if you're doing a live event, top 256, I've made it all last year and this year. That's why back in the day it was a little bit easier to make tournaments and to make, win championships if you're really good. My thing is I feel like I know like did Problem make anything this year, bro?
I don't think so. Like not from. I mean, he probably made some from streaming, but not from tournaments or nothing.
Because
So
I heard because the reason why I'm asking you this is I saw this and I don't know when, but people were arguing about Problem, and I have no problem with Problem. I
yeah,
mean I don't know him. I don't have a problem with him at all, actually. Um, my thing is what they were arguing about is they're saying like he fell off. He wasn't good to begin with. He can fall. He can be good, but not as good as people think. Do I think he fell off, and do I think he wasn't that good? No. He still got. I think he's still been top four in the last couple years, certain tournaments live. That's very good.
yeah,
You're a very good player still, but it can be a little bit truth to both statements. Is he good? Yes. Is he very good? Yes. But was he a little bit overrated? Yeah. And
yeah.
deep
I
down, he
was.
has to believe that, bro. Like a little bit, man. I mean, because if you're the best of the best, you're gonna still win a chip. And he hasn't won a chip since that Virgin Gaming tournament.
Yeah,
Why? What's really changed? He's the one on Twitter saying that he hasn't had a quotation. I'm gonna put quotation marks. Real job since he turned pro, like 5 years ago. And I think 5 years ago that was when it started to pick up MCS Madden 16. So maybe it was 4 years ago. So he has plenty
yeah,
of time to try to do it. You know what I mean? Like me, this is my business, kind of like Problems. So if I
yeah,
don't make a live event, what's the deal? You know what I mean? Like I just wasn't
yeah,
good enough in the end. And like a lot of people were like, "Nah, Problem's still really really good." What changed? I'm just asking you, Trey, right now. What do you think changed that's made him not win a championship? Is it he fell off, Or do you think there's way more people now and way more people are good?
Yeah, I think it's like 100% just more people competing. I just think he was a big fish in a small pond at the end of the day. You know,
Well,
no yeah.
no, yeah. No disrespect to problem at all, man. Like
Yeah.
I would love to have the regime he's started. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
gonna be a 60-year-old man running Top Madden, or that's his group, right?
Yeah, Top
Top
Madden.
Madden,
Yeah.
and he's gonna be like he's gonna be like people are gonna be buying sweatshirts, and people are gonna be buying his like headphones that he makes. He's gonna make tons of money, so in the end, he's gonna win. I'm not saying that we're strictly talking Madden. If you throw this Skimbo right now, back in the day, or a Kiv, or a Dreeny, you don't think they're gonna be winning all those championships he did?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then who's the GOAT? Right now, in my opinion, you count the MCS era. And now I know there's a lot of old school Madden players that are like, hell no, you can't do that because it's like if you exclude people in the NBA or NFL or baseball from 40, 50 years ago. Kinda. You can't. It's a kinda on that. Like MCS, they had way more people than back in the day. Like LeBron James would score 100 points in the NBA 50 years ago, like Wilt did, or 60 years,
Yeah.
because big fish, small pond. Is Wilt Chamberlain? Could you drop him off today and he'd still be good? Hell yeah, he'd be good still. But would he score 100? Probably not. Just like unfortunately for Problem, he's not going to probably win many more championships. Just like Skimbo. Skimbo thought it was all cake, if you remember. The new GOAT, he made that T-shirt or whatever. He had 3 rings, and he hasn't done anything since because it's harder than people think. I remember when Kiv won his championship. I think it was the Madden Bowl a couple years ago. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was. He won it, and the announcer said that he could be the new GOAT, and he's going to win a lot of championships. He hasn't won in a couple years. It's just different, bro. Like real quick, and then I'll let you talk. So I apologize because I don't want to restart over. But
Oh, it's going good. Yeah.
it's it's easy. It's easy when you don't have a mark on you, and by that I mean like or an X on you. Like it was easy when Kiv was just a young player that everybody thought was really good. But once you win that championship, the pressure is on to win another one. And you better not lose to that guy because you're a championship winner. Little bit more pressure. Like even for me, bro, on a smaller scale, it's like I have to be good every year. I have to be good enough. Making online tournament, that's good enough to do YouTube because that means I'm still, a top 100 player, top 80 player versus all the competition. But if I had that pressure of I better be that good every year. So I'm just saying, like, and that was on a smaller scale. For, like, the Skimbos and the Kivs, totally different.
Right. Yeah, and I feel like, someone that's just coming up, but, like, for guys like, Skimbo, like you were saying, Kiv, like, they have the mindset to where, if they're not consistently at these major events, then it's like it's a failure. So.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of pressure for them, and it's different.
Yeah.
When you're the favorite, it gets a lot more pressure than if you don't have any pressure.
Expectation.
Like kind of like Henry. I think Henry's gonna feel the pressure more and more.
Right.
Just like Clef, I'm gonna be honest. I saw the pressure kind of get to him in Madden Bowl.
Right.
I saw it. I saw the cracks. Do I think he's gonna eventually win a championship? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'd probably.
And that will either open the gates for him to win multiple ones, where like how Skimbo did, or he'll just win one, which would be still cool for him per se. But I see the pressure. Just like Skimbo. Skimbo admitted that he was feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders when he kept losing in the championship game. I remember all that, man. He was still on Gamer Saloon, and people were calling him a choker and a bum. And I'm like, damn, how can you be a choker and a bum when you're getting second place repeatedly in the world?
Yeah.
But he even admitted that. And then once he won the first championship, he said it was cool. It was free. It was like weight off the shoulders.
Right. Yeah, for sure. All right, so we've been talking for quite some time. I think this is probably one of our longer podcasts, actually. So.
Oh, especially in the off season.
Oh yeah, in the off season. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This was the West Coast Madden podcast. We should be back next Thursday around the same time if things change due to rescheduling. Be on the lookout. Shane is gonna post changes on the community wall, and also, Shane does, post on the community wall. It's kind of like Twitter, but with YouTube. So there's that. But yeah, anyways, I appreciate you guys, those that are gonna watch it back, and have a good rest of the week.
All right, so I'll just sum it up real quick. It's June 4th. It's a Thursday at 5 p.m. That's when we should be back. I know Trey said that, but I was thinking in my head what the date was.
Yeah, what date it was.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun, you guys. I'm gonna on the community wall in about once we actually. I was gonna tell you this, Trey, but just to sum this up really quick, you guys, in about a month and a half, I am going to ask a question that I think will be really, really cool. And I will need you guys, it's about giveaways, like I did in December for the Christmas giveaways. But it'll be a little bit of a poll question that way. So look for that before Madden 21 drops. I'll post that up probably like a couple of weeks before. So look for that. But anyways, you guys, this was the West Coast Madden Podcast. I'm Shanegotyou11, and Trey was with me like always. And shout out to everybody who support us. We will see you same time on June 4th.